Welcome back to another Sims 4 video. Today we're doing part 2 of the $20 million Hollywood mansion build. If you haven't seen part 1, that'll be linked up on screen and in the description down below. And if you want to download this house, that'll also be linked in the description down below. Or you can search for my origin ID, which is James Turner YT. So today we're starting off doing a little bit more on the landscaping on the outside of the house because I guess we sort of worked out the layout of the interior, how we wanted that all to work. But the outside, especially the front, I mean, it looks cool, but there wasn't really anything definitive going on here. So I was like, let's add some sort of maybe stepped landscaping. Now, there wasn't really any plan here. This wasn't really based off anything. I was just trying to play around with platforms and the terrain tool and try and get it all to kind of work and look like it made sense. You know, I think it looks okay in the end. It took a lot of work. I don't know how much I cut out of this. There was a lot. There was a lot. So there will be parts, and also with the furnishing of this house throughout this video, there's going to be probably sections where we jump from like an empty room to a full room, you know. So we're not going to see absolutely everything being done, but at the end of the time lapse, which if you want to use the video chapters, you can skip if you don't want to see the building process and just want to see the tour. We will have a look at absolutely everything in the house. So you'll see everything there. You'll get a good look of everything. But yeah, we just didn't really have time to show everything, especially with the amount of sort of indecision that I had. I wasn't sure exactly how I wanted everything to look, where I wanted everything to be. So there's a lot of like doing stuff, undoing it. And then even with that, you know, just furnishing an entire room and being like, nah, I don't really like that. So, you know, there's some stuff that just isn't in the video, but you know, a lot of it was just experimentation and trying to get this how to work. And like this, for example, putting those stairs there that go up to the platform, back onto the terrain, and then onto another platform, like up around this corner. It's kind of goofy because you can see there's like a hard line where the terrain meets the platform edge, even though it's the same floor tile. Then I was like, okay, let me try to do a half wall here to sort of make it look like the rest of the house. But that's not really possible because we can do it there, but I can't actually connect it. I was like, okay, let's use this fence. That's a good idea. We can use this fence railing. But then that doesn't connect to the rest of the house or the foundation. There's a lot of messing around with all this kind of stuff. But, you know, I think it actually turns out really quite nice, if I do say so myself. But it was a definite process of trying to figure out how it was going to work. And yeah, just like here as well around the front, just doing like a planter and just doing some really basic sort of landscaping in a way. I think using all the different platform levels and half wall edging and then putting like, for example, you can see there like a sculpture on the grass or just like a palm tree. I think it looks so good and it totally fits the style of the house. Like there's not a huge amount of landscaping going on this house. Like it just, you know, beyond the terrain tools and like the sort of rolling hill that we have. I didn't do a whole huge amount of it, which I guess is good because it means you can also add stuff in there, but I just didn't really see the point because it didn't really suit the house, especially with the surrounding area of this 64 by 64 lot. Like a lot of it is, you know, already landscaped. You know, around the back there's that huge wall that's, you know, in the world that looks like it's part of the lot. So it's kind of like, I didn't really want to do too much because we didn't really need to do too much. Now this front section here, you can see I'm trying so many different ideas, extending the flooring there. And unfortunately, when you do that, for some reason, it decided that it didn't want a fence there anymore. The fence is there. Like I can remove it and place it. It's just not visible. Even upon reloading the game, I thought I'd try that. So yeah, like I said, look, there's the fence. I put the stairs in, it disappears, you know. And when I'm adjusting the stairs, the fence reappears. It's kind of, I don't know. Yeah, look, playing with terrain tools and platforms and all that kind of stuff, it gets a little goofy, but you know, I think we worked with it in the end. We got somewhere, and I think where we got was pretty good. So this little section here, I wanted this to be a fountain. I think originally just going to do a garden bed, but I was like, this looks way better as a fountain. I haven't actually placed any water jets in it yet. We might do that at the end of this video because I didn't really know what any of them looked like. Like I think you can tell like some of their sizes, but I didn't know which kind of fountain it was. What pattern? I mean, you can read it, but it's nicer to see them. So I think we'll do it at the end of this, and we'll place some fountains in that little section there, and then just doing, you know, the sort of nice decorative floor tiling in there to make it a little bit more interesting. Yeah. So here's what I'm talking about. I was like choosing fountains, and I'm like, I could put these in. I don't really know what they're going to look like, so I just give up, and I'll come back to that later instead. I think the next big challenge is actually lighting the outside of this house because we have so many outdoor areas. A lot of it just would look kind of bad with certain lights. So that was a challenge in itself, and I think we sort of tackled that a little bit later on. But that was really interesting. And there's also a huge section at the end where I don't actually record it, but I do some furnishing of the outside and add some more lights in that way. Again, we'll have a good look at that at the end. But that was actually quite a big challenge to light up this place and it not look bad during the daytime. Because obviously everything looks really clean and neat without the lighting, without lights placed everywhere. But otherwise at nighttime it's pitch black. Now this also, which you've been seeing in the background, I thought was just kind of funny having this little topiary garden. We have all the current, I think it's all the current topiaries that are in the game of animals. So I think there's like the cottage living ones with like the cow, chicken, and the llama was in base game. And the rabbit, I think, came in cottage living, right? And then there was like the cat and the dog one, and then the llama. I don't know, that was just fun. It's just a few little things there. Now the palm trees as well, I was mentioning earlier, place a few palm trees around the lot. I actually decided to match, you can see on the side of the lot, not very well. Oh, here's the extra solar panels I mentioned last video. I actually added, there's a line of palm trees that go around the lot, like outside of the lot, in the world. And I sort of matched that spacing and distancing into the lot. And I think it actually looks quite good. Like it just sort of continues it and it blurs the lines between the boundary of this house and the world, which I think looks quite nice. And just a little bit of roof detailing there, just a raised section for no particular reason other than the roof looks flat. So I was like, let's just add a little raised section there. Now this is probably not for everyone, but I wanted to have this. So this is a rocket launch station. I think I did this kind of thing, like this is going to be underground, the rocket's underground in the basement. I think I did this kind of thing in, must have been a Let's Play series at some point. But yeah, I always love doing this. It's just a bit of fun. So the roofs is kind of, you got to imagine this, you got to use your imagination here. The roofs there are supposed to be like almost like shutter doors that would like close down like that, But obviously we don't want to cover the rocket because then it would look silly when it takes off. Because you could still use it with a closed roof, but Anyway, so we do that there, and then it goes down 2 levels in the basement, and we connect it to the house through the basement later on. But yeah, just a little bit of fun. I love doing this. It's one of my favorite things to do in Sims is just go a little bit crazy. And I think that's one of the fun things about building, ridiculous mansions, because at a certain point, we don't need a 20th bedroom, Why don't we build a rocket ship room or, a seance room, which there will be in this house. Like there's just so many rooms that you get to have a bit of fun with them as well. Now I was trying to figure out what fence to do there because it looked a little silly. I did like the idea of that barbed wire fence, but it was just so unsightly. Like this is the back of the house. I don't really want to block the house, like I want the house to still look good. So I was like, okay, we can use this striped wallpaper, which was actually added in the base game when werewolves came out, so that everyone should have that wallpaper, which is kind of cool. And it looks like a nice little warning paper, and then warning wall, and then obviously just extend down into the basement here with the basement tool. So there's no fence around it because it didn't look good. Not very safe if it was real. You could definitely just fall into it, but let's not worry about that. Yeah, so this, I'm just building the lower levels, basically a launch silo for a rocket ship. That's what it is, And I think they finally fixed rockets in the game, because for a long time, you couldn't actually start a new one. It just didn't work, which is so frustrating, but I think it is fixed now, at least last I heard. And I think we did actually build one semi-recently, maybe. That fence from all the werewolf stuff is, I love, you know what? Werewolves is a great pack. And not just because I built every lot in that world, but the aesthetic of the build mode in that pack is just so up my alley in general that I'm going to be using a lot of it in a lot of builds all the time. I mean, this is a contemporary mansion in Del Sol Valley, and I'm using werewolves. So I feel like if there's a place I can fit it in, I'm going to put it. So I was just trying to create like a little balcony around the, the launch hole, the launch silo, just so you could, go to that level. But it's kind of real fiddly because you got to have the hole in the middle and then have a room around the outside. It's kind of, that's why there's like a lot of clicking and adjusting things there. Now down the bottom, so we're going down 2 levels. This is where the rocket will actually be. I just squared it off because it didn't actually need to be an octagonal octagon on the bottom level here. So I just squared it off, put a bunch of columns in. I think I might have overdone it, to be honest. Is that too much? That looks like a lot. It probably, here's the other thing. It probably should be a lot wider, like a lot bigger, but also, you know, I didn't actually want it to take up that much space on this log because we could make it bigger, but then outside we'd have an even bigger hole, you know, like I don't want it to look too ridiculous. It's just a little silly and a little bit of fun. So that's all it is. It's just this little bit of fun here. Now that is sitting there. I actually move it a little bit later on, not around the lot, but I lower it because it doesn't actually line up with the basement of the house because I don't think originally I was planning on connecting it to the rest of the house, but then I changed my mind. So I do have to adjust the height of it later, but you know, that's it. Now here I'm trying to figure out around the back where the stairs are gonna come down. And I think this took me a long time as well because it's just a bit awkward. And I think I might have cut forward at some point here. Like, I mean, you can see this looks kind of awkward. The balcony has to bump out and come around. And then the stairs have to go here. And then it got a little bit silly and a little bit overdone. So I think I actually end up just moving the column, that huge like Spade stone column. We move it so the stairs are behind it, which I think makes a lot more sense. You can see here I'm still like, maybe this will work. Then the next problem I had was like, well, then the stairs have to be so far back here, and then we have this huge cliff underneath, and it just doesn't look good. So that's, I think, around this point where I'm like, this isn't really working. Like, this is just, it starts looking really messy. I mean, not that it already was, but yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sometimes the solution is to just change what you already did and make it better because the original idea didn't work. So the handy thing is, I mean, I really love how platforms work in this game. You know, ignoring how glitchy they are. Like they love to reset and do all this stuff. But once they are working, you can actually get some really interesting things. So we've got the stairs going down part way. We have the balcony for the other section of the house that's like lower down. So we have all these different levels. It looks a lot more like free-flowing than a very rigid level floor all the way along. And I really like that. I think it makes it really, really unique. And yeah, you see, so that whole balcony on the right here, where I'm putting a wall right now, that's all for the master bedroom. So they have a huge balcony there, which I really, really love. And I've just put those wooden beams there as like a fence. So there's no wall there, you can see through it. So, I mean, it's not that private, but you know, I think it looks cool. And then down here, I was like, let's do the same thing with the wooden slats. So we just do that, create like a fence. There is like a fence that is like a wooden lattice, but it's a little bit more detailed than just, you know, the vertical lines, which I quite like for this build. So I did that, and I think I just put like a bush behind it to make it look a little bit better. Yeah, there's a lot of bushes just covering weird cliffs and ditches and stuff in this house, but you know, I think it works. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I quite think it's genius, quite frankly, just using bushes and landscaping to cover the sins of the grounds. But yeah, no, it totally works. It totally works. Now, I think at this point, yeah, this is where I think I was still considering connecting that rocket silo to, you know, the outside, having maybe like a ladder go down. That's why I was doing like a little bit of landscaping there. But yeah, I'd change it. I think it's cooler to connect it from inside the house. And then just a little bit of landscaping out the back here. We just do like a planter there. I love using like the half walls for the planter, though I mentioned last time, I'm a little concerned that the amount of half walls we have will end up with plates all over them, though we will see once we play in the lot. We'll see. Now, I also know, because there was comments about it, using like the glass trim on top of a half wall, or the one that has like the fence sort of thing, that stops Sims placing stuff on it. But then it looks like it has glass or a fence on top of it. And a lot of the time I don't want that look in this build. And that's why I don't use it. Also, when I use a half wall inside a room to like look like a wall, but prevent it from, you know, cutting away, it doesn't really, you have to have it really low than the glass section on top. I think a lot of the showers, I actually do use the glass section because that kind of makes a bit more sense. Now, we have jumped forward here a bit. You saw we had a good look at the outside just then, which I think is coming together so well. It's looking great. Now, the bedrooms, there's a lot of bedrooms, so I was kind of struggling a little bit with some of these. And I think at this point, you can see we've gone forward quite a bit because like the whole room behind us is furnished. This one was starting on now. Yeah, I was trying to work out, and at this point, still, I hadn't really grasped the fact that I need to do bathrooms. So I do get to it I don't know if it's in or if you just jump forward and it happens, but yeah, that was a problem. That was a problem, especially because we got so many bedrooms but no bathrooms. I can't remember. I don't know how many bathrooms we actually end up with. I might see if I can like load up the game whilst we're watching this this time lapse and see, but there's a lot, so there's no need to fear. Though, again, what some of you guys pointed out is, yeah, having that many bathrooms to prevent Sims walking across the lot. I mean, it could just end up making them use the toilet at one end of the house, walk to the other end of the house and wash their hands there. So, you know, there's a lot of like playability stuff I think we'll figure out when we're actually playing in this house. Now, this room, I had a lot of fun with. This is a kid's room. I just kind of went a little bit crazy with it. We have this raised platform with the play tent here, so you can go up here and imagine all this stuff. It's almost like a tree house kind of thing inside. Don't worry, there's a fence around it. Or at least there is a little fence. And then there's stairs that have no fence. You know, it's not that safe, but it's The Sims. They're not going to fall. It's fine, okay? It's fine. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with this, man. Just making this kid's room kind of as fun as I can imagine having a kid's room. Like if I was growing up, this would have been so cool to have this and be able to use that space. And I was like, okay, this is just going to be colorful because the rest of the house is pretty, I guess for lack of a better term, bland. You know, it's like white wood and then the gray and black trims everywhere, which I think looks very classy. But for a kid's room, isn't that fun? So I was like, let's go yellow fence. We've got the grass flooring. I'm imagining that's like an AstroTurf kind of thing, maybe not actual grass. Got the yellow fence. We also got the dollhouse down there. We used the one from, what was that pack called? Kids play stuff? No, what was it actually called? I don't remember. But the stuff from that kit was actually really nice, especially right there. I kind of like the fact that it's blocking the window because, you know, this kid is like, I want this. And they're like, okay. They just put in there, just blocks it entirely. And I decided also a bunk bed would be awesome as a kid. So I was like, let's do that. I feel like bunk beds are so cool when you're a kid, but then you get to a certain age, you're like, yeah, I'm good with bottom bunk. Am I old? Maybe I'm old. Anyway, yeah, in this room, I was just kind of trying to have a lot of fun, you know, putting a lot of wall decals in. I guess the underlying wall I was keeping white for a while. I think I changed it. I'm not sure, but anyway, I also did just check in my game, and again, we'll have a nice big tour at the end of this time lapse. We have, I think, 6 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think, what was the real house at? I think it was pretty similar. It might have been like 10 bath or something. Let me have a look. I'm going to load it up. I will also link down the house that this is inspired by. It is by no means supposed to be the same house. Inspiration was taken from it though. So the real house, 6 bed, 10 bath. That's pretty good. Not that I was trying to like get the same number, but that's kind of just where I ended up with the scale of the house too. We've got plenty of toys and activities in this room. I was kind of just trying to place as many kids' activities as I could that we could, you know, utilize in this room. Now, if there's also stuff that I missed in this house in general, not just this room, like I kind of was trying to do as many activities as possible. That made sense. You know, there's obviously not everything can fit in this house in general, but you know, I was like, we have a big house, we got a lot of extra rooms. Let's try and place some stuff that, you know, we can actually use and do. I kind of wanted to place a bowling alley. I never did it because we had a bowling alley in my season's Let's Play house. That was a lot of fun, you know, but you never really use it. It's kind of just a little bit of fun having like a secret basement bowling alley. Though to be fair, it's pretty fun having it, so I might do that again. I kind of also wish that they added like some more arcade stuff. Like, I feel like all old Sims games used to have lots of arcade stuff, right? Like there was always the pinball machine, then the actual arcade machines. Like we have that one big one, but I guess we don't have pinball or anything, do we? I'm not quite sure. Now this is a toddler room. This room's not as cool as the kids' room. I also feel like because, you know, it's a toddler, they can't really climb. I mean, they can climb stairs after a while, but not initially. So I was like, let's keep this one a little bit more simple. It's all on the ground. This one is definitely not as fun as the kids' room, but, you know, should have all the stuff we need for a toddler. Oh, actually, you know what? It's a good thing I built this room because it was at this point I realized, I just pulled out the potty and I was like, oh no. Oh no, what have I done? There's no bathrooms. I was like, I can't have the potty like in the family bathroom like 500 meters down the hallway. So I was like, okay, we gotta fix this. I was like, I gotta add more bathrooms in this house. So here's where I turned. This bedroom had a kind of awkward like walk-in robe, which I never really liked. So I changed it into a bathroom. The kids' room also got an ensuite bathroom, which is pretty epic. So there's a little ensuite just here. Just kind of shifted all this bed stuff along so that we can actually get into that. And then that allowed us to have a nice ensuite bathroom there. Pretty simple. It does cut in, I guess, to the master bedroom a little bit. No, it doesn't really matter because they're not really missing out on anything. I actually cut in even more and added another bathroom, like just off the hallway, because this bathroom here will serve, you know, I guess the toddler's room. And also there is another bedroom just opposite it that doesn't have an ensuite. So, you know, this is kind of like the hallway bathroom. Yeah, so that sort of gives us plenty of options there. Now here is the master bedroom. I was like, okay, we gotta try and make this as epic as possible. This was also, did have some inspiration taken from the original house, though it looks nothing like it, you know. But we have a few ideas taken from it. Lots of nice wood walls and textures everywhere. Huge walk-in wardrobe too, which I think is pretty cool, which is just off to the side here. Now that huge room off to the left, next to the toddler's room, that's the entire bathroom. The bathroom of this is bigger than some of the bedrooms in the house, but you know, I don't make the rules. Whoever decided that was going to be their bathroom, they were like, yeah, that's all right. We're going to take one of the biggest rooms as our bathroom. So had a little bit of fun with that. And then, yeah, that little area on the side is the walk-in robe. Yeah, so I also just did a small door to the bathroom because there wasn't really a door that looked good, to be honest. So I was like, let's just tuck the door to the bathroom like behind that corner there. I was originally going to use those Get Famous walk-in robe kind of things, but just the fact that they were like white and shiny gold and all that, it didn't really match the aesthetic of the house. I was like, okay, we're going to use the Dream Home Decorator stuff here. So I was like, let's just build a custom wardrobe. Like I mentioned, I think in the last part as well, and almost every video when I use these items, I absolutely love how modular they are and how much you can do with these. But I hate when you put the walls down and you cut away the walls, they just disappear like all your work is gone. It's also kind of more frustrating with the wardrobe and hanging stuff because it means once your walls are down, you can't actually click on the dresser because it's not there. So that really annoys me. Though this one's not as bad because part of it is on the exterior wall, which typically doesn't cut away unless you're, you know, looking from the outside. So it's not too bad. But yeah, just basically a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. None of these shoes really look as fancy as they should for this wardrobe, but it's okay. You know, it's just decoration. We had some of the new high school years stuff in here, which might be a little out of place, like high school years thrift clothing in this wardrobe, but you know, we just needed a variety of clothes for it to make sense. So I was just making sure that it sort of fit in. Now on this little section here, I made this one, I think a little bit, yeah, more of a bookcase. Rather than clothing, because that was similar, I think, to the inspiration. Like it wasn't directly a open wardrobe right away. Now here, I was like, we just need another big plant, much like the rest of the house. I think that's the same one we put in the living area because it just looks, I mean, when you have giant walls and so much open space, giant pot plants are the best. I think it looks so cool. Like it's so extravagant to get like giant stuff going on here. And you don't normally, well, I don't normally get the opportunity to use these huge plants anywhere. So the fact that I've built this massive house, I was like, we're going to use as many as possible. So this bedroom is just expansive. It basically has a little sitting room in it, has some lounge chairs on the private balcony that ends up being like a hot tub. You know, we got everything. Also, these Decor to the Max chairs, I think they are. I thought they were pretty cool. I really love those with the little golden stand. And, you know, we have a little bit of gold sprinkled in, not too much, but just a little. You know, we're going to have a little taster. And then the lounge chairs. Yeah, we got to have those reclining in the sun there. I am also imagining all of our windows are like one big door that sort of pulls back and opens up. So you got to use a little bit of imagination there. Now, the rest of the house, so we've got this big wood paneling that we're using in this room. The rest of the house is actually using the wooden floorboard wall texture. I actually changed the entire wallpaper of the house to that more larger wood paneling just because I think it actually looked nicer in the end. Now, this is also a cool idea. I think this is also from, I don't know if it's the master bathroom in the original house, but they have this huge like glass almost room for the shower and it has like this marble bench on the side of it. So that's what I'm trying to recreate here. I originally tried to do it as a room, but it just kind of didn't look good. I really want to have frameless windows in The Sims 4 because it would make stuff like this so much cooler. And like the sort of wine rack we did in the last part, is if we had a window that had no frame, it just looks so much nicer. But anyway, so I end up doing like this. I get a couple of these marble side tables on both sides, and I think this is really cool. I mean, it looks really cool in the actual place, but I think even here in The Sims, I think it's pretty cool. So I use the half wall there with the glass on top because that means they won't place stuff up there. And then we have the shower at the back here, and then we have like towels and like, you know, all this kind of fancy bathroom, you know, racks and soaps and ointments. And I don't know if I put candles in. Yeah, I do on the other side. You know, like we just get all this stuff. There's that little soap tray. Very fancy, very big. Yeah, this bathroom is just huge. It's just huge. This bathroom is so big, it has another room inside of it, which is also the size of like a regular bathroom. We end up putting in like a whole toilet section because I kind of built all this. You can see here, I built it and I'm like, it kind of seems like not very nice to just have a toilet in the middle of this space. You know, it kind of seems like the toilet should maybe have its own space. So I was like, okay, I think it was at this point somewhere, or maybe I'm choosing the lights and I'm like, okay, the toilet would have to sit right in front of the door, which in a bathroom that's supposed to be this big and this fancy, I was like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work for me. Let's change it. So yeah, I basically cut this out here. We have a 2x3 or is it a 2x4 bathroom? I don't remember what I end up doing there. This huge toilet room. It's just massive. It's a bathroom in itself. Yeah, 2x4, which I think is bigger than some of the bathrooms in this house. So, you know, it's a little fancy. It's a little fun. Oh yeah, I think the door to this toilet is bigger than the door to the bathroom, which, look, again, that doesn't make a lot of sense because the bathroom door is quite small, but the toilet door is like massive. Look, okay, you gotta, you know what, I might, actually, you know what? When we jump into the tour of this build, which is not too far away at this point, maybe we'll just remove the bathroom door because we have the bit where you sort of walk around, you know, the walls. Maybe we don't need a door because I mean, a lot of high-end luxury homes don't even have like traditional doors to the bathroom in the main bedroom. They'll have like, they might have like a big sliding wall or something, which obviously we can't have here. Or it's just open to the bedroom. Usually the toilet has its own room like we do in this case. So I'm thinking maybe we just remove the door to the bathroom and just have like, we already have like the little covered walkway. So maybe that's a good idea. Now, finally moving to the basement because I think I've actually finished all the upstairs. I know we didn't see all of it yet, but we will revisit that in the tour. So down here, I was like, okay, we've done all the bedrooms. We don't really need anything else in this house. What do we want? Okay, what do we want? And one of the rooms in the house that this is inspired by was this home theater. And I'm like, okay, any mansion, we need to do a home theater. That is absolutely mandatory. So we're gonna have a home theater, which is, I think, only one of 2 TVs in this house. We don't have a lot of TVs in this house. Actually, I think there's a TV in the bar that I build later on. But yeah, not a lot of TV. So I'm hoping the Sims will actually use the home theater room. That's the plan. So it's actually here originally. I do end up moving it, but because I spent a long time building this home theater in this time lapse, I kind of just cut forward because it takes a while because doing the home theater is using the platform tool. Whenever you use the platform tool, it technically makes it 2 separate rooms, or every different platform height is a separate room. So if you want to move the whole room, it's kind of a nightmare. So I build it all here and then we jump forward and it's moved somewhere else. But again, we'll have a good tour at the end. But you get the idea. It's exactly the same room. I just move it. So this, we use like the sound paneling wall from Get Famous. These chairs, by the way, are so good from Spa Day. They're like, I guess, the massage chairs. I did test them before placing them. I was like, I just want to make sure Sims can actually just sit in these and watch TV, and they can. So I was like, great, because these look like the most comfortable reclining chairs ever. You know, like compared to some of the other ones in the game. There was a few other choices, but I really liked the high back on these chairs, so it looks like you'd really like settle in. So that's what I went with. And then yeah, here we're using the platform tool to lower it down, get a few rows. I was trying to figure out how many rows of seating I wanted. Initially, we start with the two rows of 3, but that kind of didn't leave enough room for, you know, a little side table for your drinks or snacks or whatever. So I actually go to 3 rows of 2 chairs with a table in between. Now these, I'm using the kitchen cabinets here and then just using some other shelves to place items where I want them because Move Objects couldn't quite get the right height. And at this point, I'm just kind of choosing items that are similar to what's in the original house because I was like, let's get something that kind of resembles it. And then just some like books and magazines and you know, a little bit of clutter here and there. It's just like a little TV unit. I don't know. There could be, who knows what could be in there, but it's there. Now, none of these items work, but you're using like a shelf and then placing it inside of the cabinet works pretty well. And then at this point, I kind of decided it was taking too long to record this, so I just kind of cut forward and just place the items eventually. Yeah, so like I said, I decided I want to actually change this to be a couple, like 3 rows instead of 2. And also, yeah, that was just before when I was trying to adjust the platform height, and the glitch that it creates is so annoying. So I was like, okay, let's just leave these platforms here. Little did I know I was going to be rebuilding this entire room in a different place anyway. So, but we don't have to watch it again. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, we did this in the end. I did test these chairs. They should all work in that position, so that shouldn't be a problem. The entire house has not been play tested yet. And the version that will be on the gallery, at least when this video goes live, will have limited playtesting, not full playtesting. Like I said, I do intend on doing some gameplay in this house. And once we do that, we'll probably discover things that we may want to change or fix. So I might upload like an updated version down the line. So at some point in the future, if I do make any significant changes, I will update, you know, download links in this video. So if you're watching in the future, just make sure you get the latest version if there is one. If not, then, well, I tried. So yeah, down the bottom, I was like, okay, let's finally add some windows down here. We're going to use this space. We got so much room. I really love the back of it. Like, I don't know, the curved wall, as glitchy as it is, I mean, you can see it glitching out half the time, you know, with the ceiling and stuff. Look, it's not great. But it does make it look so much cooler. Like if that was just a square or even a diagonal, not as cool as a curve. I don't know, there's something about that curve, very cool. I also really hope at some point they they add in curved, like the big windows we've got there, but a curved version so it actually rounds around the wall. That'd be amazing. Now there's also a pretty big change I think incoming. I moved the hallway right here, and then I think I actually move it back again later on. Like there's quite a few changes that come and go here, but it's because I was still figuring out what I wanted each of the rooms to be. At this point, I had an idea. I was like, maybe these 2 rooms behind the garage can be like utility rooms or like something a little bit more mechanical. And then I changed my mind. So that's why it sort of moves around quite a bit. I think, oh yeah, it already moved. There you go. So you see, I've actually moved the theater completely. This is where the theater used to be. It's now in the middle. And this is like our vault. Every mansion's gonna have a vault, obviously. This leads down to the rocket silo. At this point, that's why I was like, okay, this should connect down there. I'm not super happy with this, but I was just like, this will do for now. I'll get your feedback and suggestions when this video is out, and then when, you know, we're playing in this house, we can change and adjust it. But I think it's a good starting point. It's basically just a glorified hallway down to the rocket silo, but it's really boring. I really, gonna be honest, at this point, I'd spent maybe, like I have like 8.5 hours of footage recorded, but there's also many hours that I didn't record where I was like furnishing and doing stuff. So at this point in the build, I was kind of like, I don't know, man. I don't have, my ideas are exhausted for the hallway. Like I know how I want the hallway to get there. I don't know what I want the hallway to look like. That's kind of where I was at. So it's just a really boring hallway, and I apologize for that, but please let me know in the comments down below what we could do to this space to make it look more interesting. Cause I'm really open to some good ideas here. Like also playing with, you know, using basements and opening the floor to the level below always immediately becomes glitchy too. So you'll see, I don't know how much of it I record, but trying to connect it down to the rocket silo gets a little goofy and it doesn't really work that well. You know, again, very open to ideas. I love the aspect of this underground hallway, you know, the secret vault connection to the rocket silo. You know, I love that idea and that element. Didn't know how to push it to the next level though. But you know, that's okay. Not everything can be perfect. And I think that's important. That's important to learn, you know? And yeah, at this point, that's where I had to move the rocket down a little bit because we're connecting it to the house. Now here, this is what I was talking about. Like I wanted this whole area to be open to the level above. It doesn't really work that way, unfortunately. Like I put the stairs in here and I'm like, okay, let's just do this. We'll remove the floor. That'll be great. That'll all work. And then it just doesn't work. I just couldn't get that section to be open for some reason. It just didn't want to, so I gave up, and it kind of looks a little silly because, yeah, see, look, I was like, okay, let's do this. Then I remove the floor, remove the fence. Nope. It doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I spent a lot of time trying to get that to work. I'm sure, I don't know if it's just because I've been building so long that I couldn't figure it out. I just kind of gave up and I left it. I was like, that'll be good for now. Look, I think at some point we should probably put like, maybe some other scientist stuff down here, like the microscope and all those kind of items that you see in the, not the detective career, the scientist career, when you go to the science a lot, like some of that stuff. And then here I was playing around, I was like, do I go like more like brick and rustic and all that? And then I just kind of left it because I got lost. I got lost and I was like, okay, let's just leave it. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it when we're playing with it. But you know, you can get down there, you can use the rocket, all that kind of stuff. You can use the vaults, but it's not fully realized. Now, another little bathroom down here. Pretty much like I said, I think in the last part, all the bathrooms in the house are more or less the same. So I tried not to record doing too many of them because I'm just using the same items, you know, same sink, same mirror, which I all think looks really good. I really like the style of it. They're pretty simple, but I think they work. Except here, I was trying to create a little shower room, but it didn't really look good. Those Sparta doors that I'm using, I love the look of it, but they always have this frosted glass that doesn't really match any other window, which is kind of annoying. So that was slightly annoying, but anyway. This bathroom, I guess, is like one of the main ones downstairs. We have another one just off the gym, which of course has a shower in it. Now here, oh, this is cool. So I was like, what can we add? I was like looking through the menu of stuff. I was like, let's do a rock climbing room, a rock climbing gym in the house. We can totally do it because thankfully we're on the ground floor. We can use platforms to lower the floor. So this whole contraption fits in here. And we just turn this into like a little rock climbing gym room, which I think is a lot of fun. It's pretty much all it is. Come in here, rock climb. You know, why not? Why not? We're in a mansion. We can do what we want. So that's here. I was also like, what flooring would we even have here? I guess ideally it'd be like some sort of foamy sponge kind of flooring. So if you fell in real life, that is, you know, it wouldn't, you know, injure you massively. At first I have like this concrete tiled floor. I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't even know if I leave that. I'm not really sure what it ends up with because there was just so much that was done. I put that, did I leave that Sparta wall thing behind? Because that's kind of cool. It's like a little rock wall. It would be cool if we had, actually, maybe I could do it. I was gonna say, it'd be cool if we could do like a rock wall, but then there's those lights that came with fitness stuff, right? Which this item came with that look like the rock climbing things. I don't know what they're called. Rock climbing handholds and footholds. Kind of looks like that. Maybe we could make our own rock climbing wall or something. I don't know. This room was a little fun though. It's a little silly. Like, I mean, maybe use it like once. We'll probably change it into something else while we're playing. Because if we're like, oh, we need this thing, let's do that. Now, you also saw this at the end of the last video where I added in the robotic stuff to the garage. Because like I was mentioning before, I had those interior rooms that was maybe going to be like these kind of rooms. But then I just decided this stuff can probably just go in the garage. You know, it's a little bit more mechanical, probably makes a bit of sense. Let's just put it there. And then I think we're pretty much at the end of the time lapse here, which means the last few rooms that I actually do are not in this because I wasn't sure what they were going to be for a while. There was a lot of indecision. I kept changing my mind. But we've got, you know, the majority of the build done. And I think the remaining rooms are the ones that are a little bit fun, kind of like the rock climbing room. So let's jump into the build and have a look at the final product. All right, so here we are, the 64 by 64 lot. I feel like this is the first time we've been able to have a really good overview of the entire property because, you know, in the build time lapses, we're sort of focused in, and then in the last video, I didn't really show any of the outside because, we went up to that part. But here it is from a distance. I think it looks so cool. I'm so happy with this. Like, I don't know, sitting atop of this sort of area here, it's just, I don't know, I think it looks really, really cool. I'm so excited to play around with this. I think it really fits that area of the world too. Next, we got to rebuild these two places, don't we? Although I think, did I build a house? Did I build my house for that one in the Get Famous Let's Play? Or was it the 64? I actually don't remember which lot I built on. It might have been this one. Maybe we need to build the other ones. Anyway, so here we are. Here's all the solar panels, by the way. Like I said, we added a whole bunch up the top. And then the outside, one thing that's so frustrating is like, how, really? This is what they did to you. Like it just doesn't line up to the grid, and it's equally offset on the other side. So if they literally had lined up the lot properly, it would have been perfect and no problems. Just ignore that. Now, this is our garage door here. It's obviously just 2 doors, so don't worry about that. You got to use it. Look, there's some imagination required for this build, okay? So we got the main entrance is actually this door. Some people might be inclined to walk up this way, but no, this is the front door. We will jump into the game, I think, in a little bit and actually make sure we set that as the front door. Actually, maybe I'll do that now. Oh, it's Love Day. Yeah. All right, let's just make sure that's set as the front door. Actually, what is the front door? I bet it's one of these, isn't it? Yeah, it's that one. All right, so I'm going to say set that as front door. You know what? I'm actually going to lock these doors. Does this, lock for everyone? Does this save on the gallery? I don't know if the locking doors save. I just don't want, hey, don't walk up there. Oh no, we've got stupid Love Day decorations everywhere. You're ruining my house! Take down decorations. There we go. Okay. All right, so where were we? That's the front door. Don't worry. I know you didn't see it in the time lapse, but there is a bin just there and a mailbox here. You know, we might need to move or add additional, outdoor bins around the house because I don't know if that one's just gonna be too far away. Like I said, this is gonna require some gameplay to properly figure out stuff. But anyway, let's keep doing the tour of the outside. So outside, let's go to nighttime as well because you get kind of a cool look of it. So this is the outdoor lighting. The main entrance here, we've got little lights along this pathway. These lights are sort of, I was hoping they'd light up the trees because they're the lights that sort of light up walls. Kind of misses the trees somehow, but anyway. That's the entrance. Not a lot going on down on the bottom balcony around here. I just kept it kind of simple because I was like, there's not really much you want to do down there anyway. Some planters here. We've got a frosted window there. What could that be? We'll check it out soon. Around the back, let's go back to daytime maybe. It's a little bit nicer. Got the secondary pool that I mentioned I was doing. We've got the original pool over here, which I also really quite like. But it's just like, I really like it being there. It's a cool place to hang out. But I mean, how could you not have a pool that looks out at this view, out this way? So we had to do the second pool around the back. Hang on. There we go. You got to have this view. So we've got this one. And of course we have the outdoor bar area, which again, I think looks pretty cool at night. It's got this like blue neon lighting. It's nothing too fancy, but it's just got like a little cover there. So nothing electronic if you place it there breaks, and we get a lot of lighting. Nice big pool. A lot of recliners here, which actually I think one is missing. Yeah, there's supposed to be one here. Although there's a light there, so maybe I removed it. Oh no, we got 4. No, that's fine. No, that's good. Okay, don't worry about that. Yeah, so we got the pool here, 2 diving ladders or diving platforms, a couple of pool ladders. And then up the top, we have the alfresco dining area. It's only a 6-seat, I know, but you can have more seats. And the barbecue there. I feel like the barbecue area is not as glorious as it could have been, but I didn't want to put it too far away from the kitchen. Like I didn't want to put it downstairs because I just felt like that'd just be a long way away. So that's why it's just a smaller barbecue up there. And a seating area with this coffee table, which doesn't it, how does this work? Does it just turn on at nighttime? Oh no. Light all candles. Can I not light this candle? Yeah, let's get it going. Come on. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, it doesn't look as cool as I thought it would at nighttime, but anyway, it's there. All right, so that's there. Lots of seating, of course, around the balconies here. On the side, we've got another one of these tables, and of course, the new telescope, which I'm hoping works so that it's just out of undercover. Annoyingly with these telescopes is if you put them here, even though it's still outside, it won't work. I know it makes sense. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to see up to the stars, but like, you can see out the side. But I'm hoping that works. We'll check it in a second. Then around the front of the house, this is like the party area. We've got a DJ booth, which I actually have to test as well. It's on a raised platform for the door from the inside. We've got a microphone to sing, dancing area, a fire pit, the pool, hot tub. This is where you throw the parties, and which I think is also good because it's near the front of the house. And if you remember from last time, our entertainment room is this room just here, which obviously comes off to the outdoor party area. So you'd use this room and this area to throw a sweet party, which I think should work out pretty well. Hey, I literally spent a bunch of time rebuilding this section in between the last episode and this one. I don't know why these keep disappearing. I literally did this after the last part when I said I was going to. I apologize for this disappearing in your game because it probably will. Oh, and this one's gone again too. Yeah, this one just always disappears as well. Put it back again. I don't know, whatever. All right, so that's that. It's kind of hard to know where to start. Let's start from down the stairs because there's not as much going on downstairs and we've got some of the new stuff too. So we come through the main hallway. I did add a piece of art just here on the wall. Nothing too fancy, but just something to take up space. And of course we have the gym from last time, which is just in there with the sort of massage tables. The little bathroom in there. We have the main staircase just through here that goes up to the top. And then of course our garage, which we also saw last time. Continuing down the hall, we have the rock climbing gym just in here, which is kind of a ridiculous room to be honest, but it was a little bit of fun. You can climb, you can scale the mountains in here, have a little bit of fun. And then next to that, we have a shower area leading into a sauna, of course. I nearly forgot to add a sauna to this house. I mean, it's a mansion, we gotta have a sauna. And that's what this frosted window on the outside is for, a little bit of privacy, but you can still see out from the inside. And I think that works quite well. So that's just sitting in there with a couple of showers and stools on the way in. Then we have an old English pub and roof glitches from the curb wall. Don't worry about that. To be honest, I was like, I didn't know what to do in this room because we already have like 50,000 seating areas. So it's like, I didn't really want to waste it with another sitting area. So I was like, let's add a bunch of activities in here. So we've got a bar, which of course we already have one upstairs, but we have the foosball table. We've got the game table, which is, I think is the only game table in this lot. We have a dartboard, which actually is kind of maybe gonna spear that person in the head. Let's maybe move this over a little bit. Let's maybe put this more there, because I think that still gives room for the ping pong table. Yeah, so the dartboard is there, activity table there. There's also a TV, because it's like a sports bar kind of thing, old English pub, sports bar vibe. Ping pong table, classic. And then we got the juice fizzer, which I just thought was another good activity to have in here, in this house that we could actually do. That also, I guess, kind of fits in with the bar because you could be making like homebrew here or something. I thought that kind of made sense. So that's that room. Then we have, this is another sitting room. Again, this is another reason I didn't want to do a sitting room right here. This one is our knitting and cross stitching room. So, I mean, I had to put it somewhere and I was like, let's just do another little sitting area. There's really nothing fancy, just a couch. We had to do the rocking chair, and then cross stitch and knitting in here. Looking out. I mean, who wouldn't want to knit just here? This is beautiful. Amazing. And then, of course, we got the bathroom just here with a nice shower in it as well. The home theater, which I think turned out really well. So this is in the middle of the build now. I think this looks so cool. And I hope my Sims actually decide to use it. It's not massive, but it doesn't really need to be. Got 6 chairs in here, which are all at different heights. So hopefully you get a good viewing experience. Let's just test it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. So that is the home theater room. Then we have the vault, which we saw I kind of struggled with. This needs to be done at some point. I don't know we'll come back to it. And then over here we have the seance room, which is kind of honestly just all the stuff from Paranormal, just in a room. It was a little bit of fun, to be honest. The little crystal ball. And there's also a bathroom just here because I kind of wanted one, I guess, near this door and the stairs and stuff. There's one over here as well, but that's a little bit quicker to get to if you're just out here. So that's that. That's the downstairs. And then moving upstairs, there was actually a suggestion to do a chandelier here, which is probably a really good idea. We do no, we should probably do one of these because this is what I use in the hallways. Oh, maybe one of these. Yeah, that's actually kind of cool. Let's do this. Maybe I'll remove that little light. Actually, I'll put it in the middle. We'll keep the light there. What about that? Should we do wood on the back? Oh, actually, I didn't change that wallpaper. Should this be a wooden wall? Or is that going too far? I think that's too much. I think there's a reason I left it white. All right, let's do that. That's good. All right, so yeah, we come up here. Oops. Chandelier, now added in. Nice stairs. So this is where I added the door to get to the DJ booth. I have no idea if that works. We're going to test that in a minute. Of course, our wine rack area just here. When the walls are down, you still see it, which I really like. And then moving over here, of course, we saw from last time, the main sitting area in the kitchen. If you want to see these properly, you can see it in the last video. Then we've got the laundry here, a bathroom here. This is like the fridge and bin area for the kitchen. I guess we could do an outdoor bin in here maybe. That might be a good idea just for sake of not having to walk half a mile across the house. Like if we just put this here, then they'll just use this. But then I guess they won't use these, will they? I guess, wait, we don't need an outdoor bin if we have those because they just use that. Okay, let's just leave it. Sorry. And then we kind of saw it last time, but I just have these little cutouts with things in them, little statues. We got some Batu stuff. That's actually not a Batu thing. I think that was base game, but Batu, yeah! Some Star Wars stuff. Because we just had this little section here because I like the detail of having the pop-outs in this room. Also, this wall is white for a reason, by the way, just in case you're wondering. It does look kind of strange, but it is based off the original bar area. I think there was like a white wall there or something. I don't know, but That's why it's like that. And then we have the first bedroom, which is pretty simple, you know, desk, TV, bed. There's nothing really that special about this one. That's why we didn't really have it in the time lapse. Then the second one, we have the ensuite here that I built. Actually, is that the only... Oh no, that bathroom. Okay, good. I was like, is that the only bathroom with a tub in it besides like the master bedroom? But no, we have a few tubs. That's good because just for the toddler, we need a bathtub for sure. So yeah, this is the second bedroom. A little bit fun, a little bit nice. There are some hidden doors like this one here. I say hidden because I didn't want to do more of these big, thick frame doors. We already have a lot of them, and I don't really like them that much. So I did some little doors hidden around the corners there. So that's so they can get out to the balcony that way, which is nice. And then of course we have the kids' room, which this is so much fun. This is so much fun to build this. It's got like the activity table, the puppet performance thing. I don't know what it's called. That's there. Got the new dollhouse over there. The play tent up top, which by the way, I did line up with a window, which is just here. So you can actually like see out. There are some little decorative wall bars, but you know, the little window of the tent lines up with that window. And then we have a desk. There's nothing really on the desk because I was like, well, it's a kid. I didn't really want to do a computer yet anyway. Bunk bed, and then there's a little ensuite here as well for the kids' room. And then over the other side of the hallway, we have this office, which, I mean, come on. Isn't that cool? Now this is purely decorative. It's supposed to look like, you know, one of those rolling ladders you'd have in like a library or just when you have really tall bookcases. But you can't place a ladder unless you have a top platform. So that's what this is. It's just supposed to look like that. So we just have the really tall bookcases. And I use, as you can see, a half wall here. So when we put the walls down, this whole wall stays up. Because if it was a regular wall, you just see these bookcases kind of floating and it looked weird. Hoping Sims don't place stuff up there because they can't really get to it because this counter is in the way. And to use it on this side, I think they'd have to climb up and place it there. Which, please don't, Sims. Please don't. Anyway, so that's a half wall there. And then we have the main computer here, and we have the research computer just there, so in amongst all the books, which I thought was a little bit of fun. I quite like that. Yeah, and then just a little sort of sitting area here. And again, this sort of almost hidden doorway access to the balcony, which just has a sofa and a drinks tray. And then over to the toddler's room, we did originally have, I don't know if you remember, there was like a built-in wardrobe here. It got really annoying because when you put the walls down, you couldn't really see this room or this room. So I moved the wardrobe here to the back. So it's a little bit easier, as you can see, when the walls are down to sort of play in this space. Like it doesn't really get in your way as much. So toddler room, like I said, not as crazy and as fun as the kids' room, but you know, it still has all the kind of stuff you need or want. And then the master bedroom is just kind of, whoa, that lighting. Let's maybe change the time of day. There we go. Master bedroom is just a lot of fun. The bed is up on a big platform. We got this huge walk-in wardrobe in there. Lots of big plants, seating areas, recliners. They have their own private balcony. You know, more seating, of course. Big hot tub. And then here's the walk-in robe as well, just in that section. And then we have the bathroom. Let's put the walls down so we can see that. The sink area, nice tub. I didn't place the larger tubs. I kind of wanted to, but it just kind of felt a bit weird having it off in the corner like that. It just, I don't know, it didn't really work. So I was like, let's just place a regular tub. And then of course, like the giant shower area, which I really like. I think that's so cool. And then of course, the toilet room, which is just kind of ridiculous. This is like the size of some of the other bathrooms in the house, but it's a little bit of fun. Now, let's do what I said earlier. I wanted to remove this door and I want to remove that wall. So this is actually now all part, this whole section is the same room, but, oh, actually the tub might be a problem. Well, whatever. I was gonna say, because this shower, Sims don't have to leave the room for, like they can shower with another Sim in here. But if whoever's using this room, I guess, isn't a romantic partner of whoever's using that tub, they're gonna get shooed out of this entire space, which is maybe not ideal, but I think I like it without that door there better, just because it is kind of weird. We could even make this bathroom a little smaller, like have it here so the entrance is a bit wider, but I think I'll just leave it as is. Like, I'm quite happy with that. Now, yeah, when the walls are in cutaway mode, thankfully this little wardrobe section still works, which is nice. And I think overall, I'm pretty happy with how all of this looks at the moment with the walls. Like there's not really too much stuff like blocking the way, like it doesn't get too busy. If we go into live mode, even more stuff sort of disappears, like that tree and stuff will fade away, which is great. So those can be right there, but not really get in the way. And it all seems to work pretty well. Like I'm very happy with this. Now, last order of business. Let's get some water jets. Large dancing. Maybe a dancing one is what we need. What about these two? Let's see. That seems a little much. I'm gonna be honest, that's too much. What about that? Is that okay? Or should we just, maybe just the one in the middle? Maybe the side ones are too much. Okay. Now, last order of business, obviously I'm not gonna fully play test this house, but I wanna see if you can get to that DJ booth. All right, we're coming in the house. He did not use the front door, by the way. I have a suspicion that they'll use this way a lot more, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah, curved walls, the rug's kind of glitched, so that might get annoying and I might remove that, but whatever. When you're zoomed in, it's fine, but zooming out, it just glitches away. All right, so we can go onto the platform. Can we use this DJ booth? Please tell me you can. Oh, yeah! That's totally what I wanted. That's awesome. I don't know, for some reason I really like that being on this platform with the dance floor just there. That's a lot of fun. All right, well, I'm gonna leave this video here. It's been a very long video. Even just this tour at the end is huge. It's a big lot. This is available on my gallery for download, so you can check it out in the link in the description down below, or of course, my origin ID, James Turner YT. And stay tuned, because we will be playing this house in the near future, which I'm excited for. And oh, don't forget to leave any comments or suggestions of how we can make this tunnel to the rocket area maybe look a little bit better. I'm not really sure what to do with that, so suggestions and feedback on that would be awesome. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.